great. Thank you.
Doing great, Randy. How you doing?
Doing all right. On the road this week, so got my proverbial Starbucks this morning. Yeah. So everybody have a good weekend?
It's great. Great. Just ramping up for the summer, which
Cool.
feels like it's here already.
It was here like
That's
3
awesome.
months ago.
Yeah.
Got a chance to listen to Indiana concert bands at their state festival this weekend, so that was cool.
Yep. We did. It was
Congratulations
good.
to all those groups.
Yeah, absolutely. Just getting there is an achievement and really enjoyed the performances. So
Yep.
kudos to all those directors and their kids. Now on to commencements and other things.
Right.
And
Just
then
about
that thing,
done.
yeah, and then that thing we call marching band is going to start up, and we have our marching arts intensive that's coming up June 15th through the 17th at Bethel University in Mishawaka. There's still time to sign up. You can go to www.marchingartsintensive.com to register. And if you'd like to get a discount code, just reach out to myself or Richard, and we can get that to you.
Yep.
Beth will probably post some of those links in the chat as well. But we're really excited this morning to have two individuals, Luke and Josh Gall, who are the owners of Ultimate Drill Book. And we're really excited that Ultimate Drill Book is a corporate sponsor of the Marching Arts Intensive with Con Selmer this summer. And Luke and Josh are going to be around, and we just wanted to chat with them this morning because, you know, we're going to talk a lot about process, Richard, right? During the Marching Arts Intensive. You know, most successful band programs have established processes that they're committed to, and they don't skip steps, and they're very committed to their fundamentals program. And Luke and Josh have some really, really cool apps that will assist in doing that, assist the participants in doing that. So good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing? Good?
Great.
Well, thank you.
It's a happy Monday. Looking forward to the week full of band.
Yep, absolutely. And this will be aired tomorrow on our Tuesday Coffee Talk that we pre-tape on Mondays. So we're really excited to have you guys in. So I know we've talked a little bit. We've met a few times. You've met with the clinician staff. We've talked about how the Ultimate Drill Book is such a great tool to be able to use with your staff and with your students to help expedite several things in the teaching process. And it's very process oriented. So why don't you guys do a little bit of a flyby on what the end users are going to see during the Marching Arts Intensive and what they would see if they're utilizing the Ultimate Drill Book app.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're really excited to be working with the clinicians there that week, and really our goal with the utilization of UDB app is for it to be sort of the most creative and cool digital handbook, or sort of handout that the clinicians and the participants are going to be able to use. So there'll be supplementary materials throughout the week that's going to help with delivery of everything from drill and musical exercises to, of course, music that the clinicians will be using in their basics blocks and their color guard routines and those kinds of things. And so we're just excited that UDB is going to be able to help expedite the process of information sharing and allow for the students and for the staff to not only engage with the content during the sessions, but then outside of the sessions, and then take those things back to their band program and say, hey, at MAI this summer, I learned this really cool thing from Randy and Richard, and here's the exercise I'm going to share with my kids, and let's go out and do it now that we have this visualization and this sort of unique integration between the music and the visual that the students can benefit from.
That's awesome. And, the students will have the app, so they'll be able to utilize it. The face-to-face participants that are with the clinicians during the rehearsals are going to be able to utilize that. And then the virtual folks will be able to utilize it too, which is awesome. That's not an easy lift, I'm sure, but well, maybe it is. I'm not a technical guy when it comes to that stuff, but I know if I was taking it virtually, Richard, you too, right? It would be great to be able to do the same thing that the participants live are doing, at least in terms of integration of the application.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It should be a lot of fun too, because every participant and every director that's going to be a part of this is going to get a batch of free licenses that they can take back to their program as well. So it's not
Cool.
going to be something that they just get to hold in their hand. They'll actually get to take it back to their directors, things like that too. And the app will be loaded, like Josh said, with all of these exercises. So as things develop throughout the week, we're going to have drill exercises in there. So exercises for brass, for color guard, for percussion. There'll even be exercises for color guard that include backing track and metronomes at different tempos and things like that. And then even some of the demonstrations like Scott Johnson's going to do with tempo control and things like that will also have some charts in there in the app as well. So it's not going to be just a drill thing where, hey, here's a drill exercise, but it's going to kind of synthesize everything that's going on during some of the large ensemble settings and bring a lot of that together, even including some music and some sheet music inside the app as well. So there'll be a lot there for people to play with and digest. And, you know, the idea is hopefully that people can go back to the program and just like Josh said, say, hey, this is cool. Why don't we just do this with our band, you know, on day one or whatever the case is. So real tangible exercises and take backs to the program. That's kind of the goal of what we're trying to provide.
That's awesome. And I know one of the things, Richard, when you were teaching, it seemed like one of the heavy lifts early on was teaching the freshmen how to understand the field, the various markings and field relationships and how to find coordinates and things. And it sounds to me, Luke, like this is really going to help the students a lot.
Yeah, we think so. I mean, obviously kids ahead of time will be able to get the app and directors and be able to play with it ahead of time. And then as you all are doing some of those large ensemble things, you know, students will be able to, oh yeah, this is my dot, this is my drill, this is where we're going on the field for this piece of the equation. So of course it'll help expedite it. And I think that will be really cool for the directors to see as well and see what it's like for students to actually pull out their phone and learn where they go on the field. So for those who've never seen it before, it feels weird at first. You're like, I don't know if I want phones on the field, right? And then when you see it in action, you realize how efficient it is and how fast everything goes. And then actually how engaged the kids are, because the kids get to click play on the animation and watch it. So they're engaged in a way that they've never really been before. So I think for people who are maybe on the fence about using any sort of technology in the marching arts, you know, I think this might help scratch the surface and say, oh, wow, that's what it looks like. And it's actually pretty cool and pretty effective.
Yeah, well, one of the things, Luke, that I find interesting with this is that, you know, marching band always takes time, right? It takes time to put the show together, it takes time to get the group at the level that everyone wants them to be. And so anything that's a time saver, especially from a technology standpoint, I think is worth the effort, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it even takes time to figure out exactly how you want to use that technology. You know, you don't implement an exercise on day one and suddenly you have perfect tone quality or timing, right? So you work it out over time. It's the same thing with technology and new process and procedure. It's you implement it and then you keep working on it. You know, the way that program A uses technology is different from program B, but they're both successful because they found what works for their kids and what works for their staff. It's like you said, it's a process. It takes time. But yes, of course, this is also helps you save a lot of that time, ideally.
And there are parallels to this also, you know, even though this for some programs might be the first time that they're using technology to assist in the drill learning side of things, you know, much like programs, it took them a little while to learn how to use a metronome successfully on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, here's the process by which we want to maybe we tune with our ensemble, and every person used to carry a tuner, and now maybe a section leader can just use their phone to tune or whatever it might be. So, you know, there is always a ramp up process, and our goal is to show people how effective things can be and how quickly they can get there, especially because this is the language that even we speak, but certainly the students speak, and we'd much rather just put the information in their hands, allow for them to engage with it, you know, and then next thing you know, and the thing that we hear time and time again from teachers really around the world now is, you know, the teachers are saying, hey, we're starting rehearsal, and the kids are already saying like, hey, can we go, just looking ahead, can we rep pages 17 and 18 because there's a pass through with the color guard, I'd like to just be prepared for that, you know, things that the students wouldn't otherwise, you know, have that information. So it's fun for the students now to have that much information at their fingertips, because the reality is that they, just like us, all learn in different manners, right? Some are more visual learners, some are more kinesthetic learners. And so here's an opportunity for each student to be met where they are, just like where we are as a staff. And it's really exciting to hear about the successes of programs, and even if they're using one small part of the app, they're saying that, man, this is a time saver. I think to your point, Richard, like, and time is everything in marching band, no matter how good or
Absolutely.
or
Yeah.
bad you are.
Yeah.
No one has enough time, right?
It sounds like it's going to be a great week, and we're really looking forward to seeing both of you up there. And again, if you haven't had time to sign up for the marching arts intensive, you still have time. Go to that website that Beth's going to post in the link, and we hope to see you there, whether it be virtual or face to face. Well, thanks, Luke and Josh, Richard. Thanks for your time this morning. Really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys all in about 5.5 weeks or so.
Yeah. Thank you.
believe.
Can't wait.
Thanks, guys.
Sounds good. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a great week.